Cowboys, but lost their great defensive star, Aiden Hutchinson, to a broken leg. And the Packers smothered the Arizona Cardinals as Jordan Love threw 4 touchdown passes. So which of these 3 teams presents the biggest challenge to the unbeaten Vikings?
Wow, Tony, I think it's still Detroit. And let me just say this to you as a guy who naturally roots against the Packers, Vikings, and Lions. I find myself rooting for the Lions. As you know, the last couple of years we talked about this. Because I root for Detroit. It's not the Lions I'm rooting for, it's Detroit. Aiden Hutchinson is from greater Detroit. He's a Michigan kid. He represents more than any other player in a great many years the hopes and dreams. Talk about hopes and dreams. I think Washington had realized some in the 80s and the 90s. Detroit hasn't realized it since Bobby Lane. Okay?
They haven't been there.
They haven't been there. Yeah. So Aiden Hutchinson, to see him when he took those gloves off yesterday, and he knew how he was injured, he knew his season was over, and it's over. I felt crushed watching that, and I stayed with that game because I love seeing the Cowboys get crushed by Detroit, by a Midwestern team, by a team in the division I care for and love. And so the Bears are coming, but they're not going to be ready yet. Their schedule gets really hard. They haven't played a division game yet. The Packers could be there already. They could be, because Love is right back in it after his early injury.
That's right.
But I'm going to say the Lions, Tony, they may need to make a trade. They may need to go out and get somebody. There's some defensive end. There's some edge rush guys who might be available to them and who might fit what they do and who they are. But I still think it's the Lions, even with Aiden Hutchinson going out.
So let me support what you say up to a point.
Okay.
Because the headline is Aiden Hutchinson going out. He's a local kid. He broke his leg. All right? They say 4 to 6 months.
Everybody,
I would take the over rather than the under on that. That's Joe Theismann situation. Come on, this can't stay all over there in the immediate future. He is a great player on his way to being Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, we have to say this. The Lions just crushed them. 47-9. Let me go over this. In Dallas, 47-9. All that money Jerry Jones paid to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, what did they get? Got him 9 points. I don't talk about the Cowboys in this show.
Anyway, here it is.
Until they fly to the coach. Not on this show.
Call-in number.
But this hurts the Lions.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
I can't pick the Bears because although they're getting better,
all right, who we got tonight?
Had a combined record of 4.
We got the Bills and the Jets tonight.
So I am feeling myself pushed towards the Packers because as we have discussed before, preseason, the buzz about the teams that might take a big run up were the Falcons and the Packers. And right now, Kirk Cousins and, yes, Jordan Love are showing out. They're really good. So to me, even though they lost at home to Minnesota already, I think in the long term they have a chance. That's me.
And look, that division, I'm riding high off yesterday. Aiden Hutchinson, I have to set that aside. He's the best defensive player in the league to me. With apologies to Chris Jones, just right now, and Watt. Right now, I would put Hutchinson just a smidge ahead. But I'm still going with the Lions, Tony, as the best team in the NFC right now. Now, what a weekend in college football. Oregon edged Ohio State in Eugene. Fabulous game. Number 1 Texas crushed Oklahoma and now faces Georgia. Alabama nearly lost, probably should have lost for a second straight week. SC blew a lead and fell to Penn State. LSU is back in the top 10, beat Ole Miss. Travis Hunter, he left Colorado's loss to Kansas State with a shoulder injury. Another fabulous Colorado game at 3 a.m. And Boise State's Ashton Jeanty rushed for more than 200 yards again. Tom, which storyline grabbed you the most?
Hey, Nikki.
So as I think of all of these things,
oh, that's part of the interruption because nobody had said anything yet on the thing.
Is the most intriguing of the story.
I'll turn it down.
I have to say, honestly, it's the possibility next week.
Just 2 old men. They're part of the interruption. I was just listening to it because nobody was making any comments yet. I usually watch it every day, and I forgot to start it earlier. What are they saying is true? How come the player from Connecticut was not suspended before the playoffs? What are they saying about the Connecticut player? I didn't hear. Is this by Connecticut's son? What's going on with that? What are the what are, I didn't even hear. I didn't see that in the headlines. Maybe I missed it. What are the steroids? A woman did steroids? I didn't know that. Well, I don't know why there was no penalty. There must be rules against that because for women, it's even more helpful than men for do steroids. That's how the East German winner got East German women got things rolling in the 70s with steroids. It's on YouTube. I'll look it up, Juan. I looked at the ESPN headlines. I didn't see that, but maybe it was in the WNBA headlines when they break it down. Well, I don't know. Who did the steroids? Which player? Let me look it up. Let me look up sports. I know Rob's happy because the Mets were winning, but I don't know if they're still winning before. They were up 6-0. DeJounte Carrington's doing steroids? Let me just hang on a sec. Wow. Why was that a secret? Why wasn't that? Why can't I get that? That's very weird. So the baseball game is 6-1. So let me look at shouldn't this be in the ESPN news under WNBA? Let me see. Let me look it up. DeJounte Carrington did steroids. Why does she need to do steroids? She's like one of the best athlete in the league. Why would this come up now? This is all on YouTube. Why isn't there an article about it? Suspended now. The season's over. Are you sure? This is I'll just because I saw stuff about Caitlin Clark signing in Europe, and there was a bunch of stuff on YouTube, but it was all AI generated. And these are all YouTube stuff. Are you sure? Because this is like, there's nothing in this video. Just they started talking about Christine Brennan. Yeah, I know. I saw the same thing with Caitlin Clark signing in Europe. And I'm like, I spent the morning like making sure it was false. And I knew she wasn't leaving the WNBA, but I thought she was going to play there like January through March or something like that. I kept seeing it in the headlines, and it's all like AI generated stuff. And then there was nothing in the video about it, and they got all these clicks. LeBron. I don't know if LeBron does steroids or not. But I am awful suspicious that he's able to really play at that level at his age, and his muscle. Everything seems to be. He seems to. But he has a lot of injuries, so. Yeah, it must be bull crap. Just like Caitlin Clark supposedly doing. I was watching TV last night, and then I checked out the basketball game. I checked out the last couple minutes of it, but I won't watch those games. That league really turns me off. If it's close, though. I know. I try to avoid anything that's clickbait-like. I mean, I still want to make it provocative, but I do avoid clickbait. And Mick Hoops does clickbait stuff, and he admits it. He goes, "Yeah, I do clickbait stuff." Like, what? So I don't know. Where's everybody tonight? Because the Caitlin Clark season's over with. Nobody comes on Monday nights. First game was good. Second game was like watching WA from last year. A lot of misses and grunts. Yeah, I saw. What did I see? It was on, I guess, Ben Daniels' podcast. I watched the beginning of one of his videos, and he was reviewing the game, and he said that Breanna Stewart missed like a ton of layups. She missed one at the end of overtime last time. So. Yeah, I'm surprised at the quality of play, to tell you the truth. Yeah, there's a whole mess of ones about Caitlin Clark signing for Europe, and then you go, you listen to the video. There's nothing in there about it. just in the headlines. Like, who does that? Why would people come back to their channel? Yeah, the Lynx seemed to be upset that they weren't getting calls in the press conference afterwards. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if they weren't getting calls or not. I don't know why the refs are afraid to call the game tighter. Just their fouls, just call the game tighter, and the people stop fouling. I don't know. It's a real. I don't know. People say that the talent level isn't in the league anymore because it scared everybody out. I don't know if that's true or not, but it certainly would discourage me from going into pro basketball if it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, if I saw this type of play. But I didn't even know if people even knew. Like, nobody knew about the WNBA. I barely watched it myself. It was rare that I watched a WNBA game. Well, I don't know about the paid thing. Here's the thing. They're trying to get promoted. So just because you don't get paid much doesn't mean you're a lousy ref. It does mean that you haven't worked yourself up yet to the NBA level. Because the best refs, like if you're like, all these refs get rated, as far as I know, in every league. So if you want to make a lot of money, you got to become a good ref, because those are the ones that get promoted to NCAA Division I, like the top, they do the top conferences there. They get paid more than the WNBA, and they have like 35 games, and then they have the NCAA tournaments and the conference tournaments, so they can get more games even. But I don't know. That's a short season. It's only 35, 50, 40 games. I would want to do some more in the NBA. So I don't know. It shouldn't be that bad. You know what? Calls, I don't know. Ref is not easy, but these are supposedly the best. They go, we start with 5,000, we whittle it down to these, 30. These are the best ones, and you started from 5,000? That's what they said. I don't know. I guess the 30 went to the NBA. Good ones. But there's a whole, like they're saying, they go through the whole training and retraining. My brother's a soccer ref. He just does it because they don't have enough people. His son played best, but he's getting old for that. But he helps out anyways. He just said he doesn't do it for the money. He does it because they need people. And yeah, I've never reffed. The only reffing I ever did was like when we had scrimmages in wrestling. We had to have somebody ref sometimes, and I was asked to do it because they thought I did a good job because I knew the rules and the moves well. But I don't know. I think I could be a good ref. I just don't know if I would like it. Dodgers coming back. It was 6-0. Now it's 6-1. Now what is it now? Let me see. I know there was a grand slam earlier in the second inning. (6-3). Oh, yeah. Oh, they're in striking distance now. So what inning is it? Bottom of 6. And they only have one out. And a man on first and third? Whoa, this is a game. Only one out, and they got 2 men on base. And they still have 7th, 8th, and 9th inning and the rest of the 6th. Yeah, I see that. They're right in the game. Especially if they get another run in. Or they can get more. They only have one out and they have 2 men on base. I'm not a big baseball fan, but the playoffs can be exciting. Oh, really? But what happened? I turned it off. Oh, yeah. Loaded bases, 1 out. Whoa. Wait, I got to turn this on. Hang on a second. Loaded bases. Sorry, I got to go to the baseball game. They should be outlawed. These things are so foul ball. I'm going live on a baseball game.
average player to historically powerful and clutch in the postseason. That's the same postseason.
1 out. They got 2 tries at least to get a run in.
Go ahead with the plate. Ball is struck.
Which game? There's only one on right now. That's the Dodgers and the Mets. Rob's a Mets fan. Two outs? He must be ahead of me. It says 1 out. Oh, 1 and 2.
Again, you see how the fingers get out the side of that cutter and that spin. Only 90 miles an hour, but spin does a lot to the view and the perception of the hitter. If that's a 4-seam fastball, that's a little bit different and probably more hittable, but that cutting action and that delivery and arm angle works to make them. On the 1-2 pitch, Hernandez grounds into third. Piazza struggles, trips it to second line. First, retirement on the play. An inning that was opened up thanks to the poor defense might have just finished.
Nikki, yours is ahead of mine. I got YouTube TV. It's behind a little bit. Did they really get him at first base? He even bobbled the ball and they still had a timeout?
Comes in and then he hits the runner, but Iglesias still makes a great throw. And I think he's going to be out. And bang on both plays, but foot is on the back. They're taking 2 challenges in the postseason, so at this stage of the game, Dave Robertson, the Dodgers say, well, now use one of them, but it looks like this is going to stand up. Here's the play at second. Muncie's right on top of him when he catches the ball, so he's clearly out there. And then the throw to first. Does he have the foot on the bag? Looks like he does.
Looks like they got the call right.
Black drama so far with the Dodgers run out to an early lead yesterday.
I know the guy bobbled the ball. That should have been enough for him to got to first base in time.
Looks like it'll be a double play to get out of the bases or the jam.
Wow.
And Kike Hernandez seemingly invincible this time of year.
Well, they got 3 more innings, but they blew an opportunity there.
Yeah, you thought that little bobble at third might be the difference for Kike to beat it out at first. Replay review presented by Zoom. Bill Miller.
After review, the call at second is confirmed. The runner is out. Play at first base is also confirmed. The runner is out. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
After the defense fails them, it bails them out of this situation and makes it.
So they allowed him to challenge both calls, I guess. I don't know.
Start to heat up here and get into the championship series. We're back after a word from your local Fox station.
What's up, Bayless Witty? Oh, well, the Dodgers had a loaded bases loaded, so I turned the baseball game on. In 6-3, they were coming back from down 6-0. I guess there was a grand slam in the second inning.
Critics are raving about Fox's new hit mystery show, Murder in a Small Town.
Yeah, it's a sports channel. It's supposed to be, concentrating on basketball and football. Turned into a Caitlin Clark channel most of the time, but I like all sports.
I've never been more.
We covered the Olympics.
Everywhere you look, states are banning.
Let me turn this
abortion.
down.
And now there's talk of a national abortion ban. Dave McCormick called himself staunchly pro-life. That said he's fully against abortion without any exceptions for tragedies like rape or incest. And if he gets his way, my patients could lose the freedom to make their own medical decisions. We can't let that happen. We have to Dave McCormick.
I saw
for the content of this act.
something about the Swifties and Caitlin Clark, but I haven't done a video on that yet. But I may do one tomorrow just for the fun of it. If the Swifties get behind Caitlin Clark, she'll be even more popular.
That's why we built Xfinity Internet with super fast speeds and ultra low lag for nonstop action.
What do I think? I did a video on this. I said, if they're going to go 7 games, then the first round has to be best of 5 at least. It makes no sense to get eliminated in the playoffs, especially when you're a number 1 or 2 or 3 seed, and you can get eliminated in a 3-game series when you're trying to determine who the best team is. It makes no sense for it to be best of 3, best of 5, best of 7. It should either be best of 5 all 3 rounds, or at least, at the very least, best of 5, best of 5, best of 7. It's crazy to be best of 3, then best of 5, best of 7. That's why the NBA and the NFL got rid of that, because they don't want to get teams get eliminated in a shorter series. It's the same thing. Why would the whole point of playing a longer series is to determine the better team, but the first round is just as important as the last round. If you're determining, if you're knocking out the regular season and saying, okay, these count. That's what I think. I've never liked a shorter series for different rounds. I think the Major League Baseball makes a mistake when they do their second round now. Their divisional round, whatever they call it, is best of 5. That should be best of 7. But that's me. What do you guys think? I think they're going to make it best of 5. I just don't know why they didn't do it this year in the first round. I suspect the year after this, they're going to make it best of 5. Yeah, if you're going to go best of 7, you got to go best of 5 in the first round. If you're not going to change the last one, then I'm glad they went 1-1-1 with the first round. That was silly. But they didn't have charter flights before this. Now they have charter flights, so they should have changed it this year. But the WNBA is just dumb. So that made too much sense. They didn't need to do it 1-2-1 when they had charter flights. So anyway, that's my opinion. I don't like different length series for eliminations. It just goes against my logic thinking. Yeah, I think men, they only do that for the major tournaments, right? I think some of the minor tournaments they do best of 3. That's a long match though. Those best of 5 matches. Tennis is a silly scoring system to begin with, but I don't know how they ever got that silly scoring system. Well, they start with short series because they were only playing 28 games at first, so it's kind of like you can't play 28 games and then have best of 7 series. It's kind of I can see the logic behind not doing that. But now they're up to 40, 44 games. So a longer series makes sense, but not the way they're doing it. I don't know why they make the best of 3. That's more money, too. I mean, the best of 5, you make more money in the first round. Yeah, well, make all 3 rounds best of 5 then. Really, you think the games are bad? I haven't been watching. I went back and watched from the middle of the fourth quarter and most of the overtime in the first game because it was like the replay of it was live and I was watching it. And then I watched a little bit of it yesterday when I was checking out the score was semi-close. I went and watched the end of the fourth quarter a little bit. But that's all I've watched. I just don't like the league. And I don't like the level quality of play. I don't think the players are exciting. Yeah, best of 7 doesn't seem right to me. Let's go best of 5, best of 5, best of 5. But they're eventually going to get up to more games, as they add more teams. Yeah, but they're going to have trouble, though, when they have, like, Olympics going on and stuff, getting the season in when they have a longer series. They have to start it earlier, I guess. They're going to have trouble, though, because European games, like I think China ends in mid-March. I don't know when the European season ends. I guess it depends on which league we're talking about. I don't know if they're changing it because of Clark or not. If that was the case, why didn't they make the first round best of 5? You only watch the end of the game. Yeah, I definitely wanted – I don't like the Lynx coach, but I definitely wanted the Sun to lose. I don't like DeJounte Carrington. I think Mabry is an overly physical player and a borderline dirty player. I thought she got away with too much stuff. I don't like – Alyssa Thomas is the dirtiest player in the league, so I didn't want that team to win. The overly physical teams I don't like because they're borderline dirty to me. That's the ref's fault too, and the commissioner. Well, after they got the charter flights, they could have made an amendment in the beginning of the year and said, "Hey, we want to go 1-1-1." You can push that. The NHL changed something in the middle of their playoff series because some rule they changed because they thought it was significant enough. They changed it. I don't know if I forgot what it was. It was something in the playoffs or something. They did some minor rule change to avoid it in the future. And the NHL did that. So, well, I don't know what they expected from Caitlin Clark. They keep pretending they didn't expect her to be good or this popular, but I don't see how you can't see that she was going to be this popular. I just don't see how you can't see that. They outdrew the men in last year's championship game. How can you not see that she was going to be popular? It's just so silly. $3-3-5. I don't know. I'll go 5-5-5 as my first choice, to tell you the truth. It wasn't unexpected for me. I predicted she would be first team All-Pro, and although I haven't announced it yet, they will. And that inference itself, first team All-Pro, is an inference that she would be a top 5 candidate for the MVP. I predicted 20-8-6. No, 20-10-6. I'm sorry. I thought her players could make layups, so I predicted 10 assists. And like I said, it didn't surprise me. I thought she had the potential to be the greatest of all time. They haven't announced it yet, Nikki, have they? Unless they announced it today and I didn't see it. I still haven't seen them officially announce the All-Pro team. It was AP is not official. WNBA has their own. AP is official for NBA. It's not official for WNBA, apparently. For some reason, they haven't announced it. I don't know what they're waiting for. Must be because Caitlin Clark is on the first team. Angel Reese taking steroids? No, I don't know anybody that's taking steroids. It looks like that's all bullcrap. WNBA.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Thanks to Skyrizi, I'm playing with clearer skin. 3 out of 4 people achieve 9% clear skin.
2024.
allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections, or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, have a vaccine.
All pro team.
This is Sky Grizzly. Nothing on my skin needs heaven. Ask my dermatologist about Sky Grizzly. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Look, I got the new iPhone 16 Pro at price, and Apple Intelligence is pretty awesome. You can get it when you
Yeah, they still don't have an all pro team announced yet for 2024.
Switch to Verizon to get the new iPhone 16 Pro.
Brandon Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, AJ Wilson, Hafiz Cowley, Setos Abali was first team all pro last year.
Only on Verizon.
Hi, you might know me from my other job, but I'm a business owner too. Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the Capital One Venture
So-
X business card. With no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs.
We'll see.
I love it. And unlimited double miles means we earn more too. Sweet, right? And when we travel, we get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. I can get used to this. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet?
I don't see how Unrivaled will be successful. Isn't it a more boring version of the WNBA? How is that going to be successful? It's like cricket. Why would I watch cricket? It's a boring version of baseball. Baseball's boring. Yeah, I tried watching, Nikki, I tried watching Olympic 3-on-3, and both the men's and the women's, and I found it boring. It really didn't do anything for me. So I agree, boxing. I don't think Angel will be a good 3-on-3 players. So she can pad her double is all she wants. Anyway, so there's another baseball game later tonight? Is the Yankees playing tonight? Um, 7:38. Yeah, Yankees play 7:38. Bills game tonight. Bills Jets. 8:15. I grew up an hour from Buffalo, so I still root for the Bills, even though the Packers are my favorite team. Yeah, cricket is a more boring version of baseball. I've seen cricket in person. They play it in the park where I play Ultimate Frisbee. Is -1? I saw it was even. Are the Bills favored by 1? Let me see. Did they change it to -1? Oh, it's -1 now. Buffalo favored by 1. Yeah, well, the Bills didn't look good for 2 weeks in a row. We'll see. I think they'll bounce back. The Jets have a pretty good defense, but their offense is a shambles. Aaron Rodgers does not look like him, anything like he used to look. I mean, you never know. He could explode for a good game. But, right. Their offense is kind of dull. That's what everybody says. They have no motion on it. So it's kind of predictable. I don't know if that's what Aaron Rodgers wants. He wants an easy, simple offense. It's more boring. You don't have nearly as many like exciting catches or plays or something at the base. It's more boring than baseball. I'm sleeping during both games. I told you I watched cricket in person. But it doesn't matter. You know, some of these baseball games have been exciting because there have been a lot of comebacks and stuff, late inning comebacks and stuff like that. But, you know, it just doesn't compare to me to basketball and football.
You're using Head and Shoulders, right?
Only when I see flakes. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash. Otherwise, the flakes will come back.
He's right, you know.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head and Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes that big.
Microbes, really?
They're always on your scalp.
I saw yeah, I didn't see it live, but I saw that last play where the woman got the touchdown for the Bronze, or that I don't know, it's got to call a touchdown, obviously, it's whatever it's called to score. The one woman went to tackle her, and she went to tackle her high. It was like, come on, learn how to tackle. It's just like in football. Tackle lower around the waist, the center of gravity. And she just plowed right over. I saw that play. It's like football players who just lunge forward and try to knock the guy down by just lunging at him and never wrap the guy up. And they miss all the time. Can't figure out why.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But for less at Harbor Freight.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip, to clear our
Lexi Brown's in a commercial?
What do you do to keep your head in the game?
How does she get a commercial?
Self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's not. When you can't rely on technology.
My God. Anybody can get a commercial nowadays.
Mountain Cold Refreshing.
Fawiddy Towers last week. What is it? What kind of show is it? I'm bummed that Travis Hunter got injured. I stayed up late to watch the Colorado game, and he got injured in the middle of the second quarter, and he hurt his shoulder. He's a very exciting player, and I want him to get the Heisman Trophy. I'm tired of quarterbacks always getting the Heisman Trophy, but he got it. Let me Google that and see how bad his Travis Hunter's shoulder is. I don't know how he's going to expect to play two positions in the pros. This is no way your body's going to last. It's a British TV sitcom comedy. All right. I'm not watching any series right now. I don't have time. I know my mother and brother like Tracker. So I tried it. It wasn't that exciting. It's on Sunday nights, I get. English accent. Sometimes I can't understand what they're saying. What was I going to Google? Oh, I was going to Google Travis Hunter's injury. No.
I used to ask my hitter anytime we be in this catcher, anytime we be in this situation, what don't you see? He's like, what? What do you mean? I said, whatever you don't see, I want to throw. Because if you can't see it, the hitter can't see it. The catcher said, all right, I'm trying to catch it for you. Ground ball third, picked up by the Xers. Tosses across, time, and ends the inning. Badgers going to walk from outside, but Skinner comes on and bounces any threat.
Let me see. Travis Hunter's Heisman odds takes big hit after suffering injury. Well, depends how much he misses.
Helps delay cancer from growing and has been proven to help people live significantly longer across 3
3 separate clinical trials. So I have the confidence to look This valley can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid treatment. Tell your
We'll
doctor
see.
right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heart.
Now they're saying Heisman odds are Ashton Genty. Is that who pronounced his name? Running back for Boise State. He's already gained 1,248 yards, so in 126 carries. So
People love coming in Homes.com. Don't forget quick answers about any property by connecting them to the actual listing agent.
1,248. He's averaging 9.9 yards a carry. And his team's ranked 15th in the nation. So it's good to see someone besides a quarterback than Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward, Jalen Milrose, and then Travis Hunter. And Cade Klubnik of Clemson.
What's the greatest invention of all time? Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. You just slip in and they're on. It's like they have an invisible built-in.
I know. It could change. I'm just telling you what it is now.
Bending down or touching your shoes. Then the heel pillow technology keeps you insecure.
Let's see what Deion says about his shoulder. Shedeur Sanders doesn't get enough time in the pocket. They would have won that game if he hadn't got hurt. Deion says he has no update. So there's no way to know. It's too bad. That interception he made a couple weeks ago was stunning. He wasn't even his man. There was like 2 curl outs on the same side, down and outs, and he came off his man and dove in front of the second guy who was in the front, and he laid out like 10 yards and intercepted it. He came out of nowhere. It was unbelievable. It was one of the best interceptions I ever saw in my life. I was in awe. I saw that live. Did I see Hutchinson's broken leg? No, I did not see it. I hate to see broken legs.
The score probably changed a lot of things. There's probably some head scratching going on about. I thought this was going to be a bullpen game.
Hang on one second.
Similar to the bullpen game in San Diego, but as we
I guess a running back averaging almost 10 yards a carry is a pretty good thing. So we'll see if he can keep it up.
That's it. Find that one. Shades Cleveland. First out of the 8th. Lindor started it. He ended a long at-bat, a leadoff home run. And then after that, Lachlan doing intentionally the next inning, Cortez Suarez will mark the end zone. So a nice pitch in that at-bat. So it's 5-0, made it 6-0. Chaminade goes 5 innings. Dodgers scratching back a run at the.
If you're a cringer, what's a cringer?
And they're all fair discussions. Some are not. Some are over.
You mean if you find things cringy easily?
Right. It's just hard to navigate a game when you have unknown factors. And the unknown factor was, could everybody that came in today for the Dodgers do what they did 4 days ago? And that answer quickly was not. Francisco Alvarez takes strike one. We go down to Kim Rosenthal.
Really, the problem here, guys, was Landon Knack could not do what they intended for him to do, which was to hold down multiple innings. But if you look at it, Bonda did well. Honeywell 3 scoreless.
Mets going to even this series up. Dodgers are insufferable. What does the fans have to do with anything? It's like Caitlin. They don't like Caitlin Clark because of her fans.
And winning game 1 certainly buys you a little bit of that leverage to do that. But I'm just saying, most people will be talking about fair enough. They'll be talking about how do they do what they do against the Padres? They work so well. and take a commanding 2-0 lead, but that grand slam changed everything.
I'm in Philadelphia. Do you not like the Philadelphia fans too?
Alvarez with a 2-2 pitch.
Trusted what he saw, and that slider today is a right-handed heavy New York lineup. Really worked out, enabled him to stretch this game out.
57 pitches for Langlois.
Philadelphia fans are very passionate. I don't know. I don't know any Dodger fans. The Bills fans are loyal. The Packers fans, those are the good fans. Packers and Bills fans. I would love for the Packers and the Bills to meet in the Super Bowl. Hi, Vadim. What's going on? Vadim, you're late. We started 51 minutes ago. Mr. Terrible hasn't been around lately either. He wants me to be ultra conservative. He wants Caitlin Clark to vote for Trump or something like that. Oakland Raiders fans. Yeah. Oakland Raiders. Well, there aren't any Oakland Raider fans anymore because they're not in Oakland anymore. There's Raider fans though. Did you see Juju Watkins was voted preseason player of the year? Notice I didn't say Las Vegas Raiders fans. I don't know who she's voting for. That wasn't the point. The point was I said you're going to stop, even if she's voting for whoever. Let's say she's voting for Joe Blow. You're not going to follow as a sports fan because you think she's going to vote for one of the two political candidates that you want. These are the same people who are the same people who said keep politics out of sports. And that's what she's trying to do. And then all she did was like a video where most of the video was about doing research, and or I guess it was a tweet. Most of the tweet was about doing research about finding out the issues and about the candidates and registering to vote. And then Taylor Swift said she was going to vote for Harris, which you knew she was. She didn't vote for Trump last time. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I don't understand. I don't care who Caitlin Clark's voting for. I try to keep politics out of my channel. I do my best. They don't allow me to. The very far left. The overly woke, what I call overly woke. I don't have a problem with woke. I have a problem with overly woke. And, the unfairness they've treated on Caitlin Clark is layered in things that I don't even want to talk about because it's layered in racism, tribalism, sexuality, jealousy, envious, all things that I don't care to hear about in when I cover sports. And yet these all become issues that we can't ignore, so we have to discuss them. My blinds are closed. I had them open until I did the show. I didn't want. It seems to put in a. It's dark now, just about. Let me just see. Yeah, it's almost dark. Like a conservative. You think I'm a conservative?
Made with real iced tea, real vodka, refreshing, goes down smooth. Good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
I have not said my political views on my show. Although I've said I'm not a fan of the very far left. I'm not a fan of the very far right either. That's for sure. I'll just say that. Just ride into the sunset. I'm hoping that Jason Whitlock is right. I am not far left, not very far left. I think they go too far. As long as it's discussed in a funny way. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Whitlock said, like, someone like Elon Musk or Saudi Arabia should just start another league and, you know, get Caitlin Clark to be the focal point of it. And it would put this league under. It would. Because people would follow her to the league, either during the same season or during the traditional NBA season. But wherever Caitlin Clark goes is where the league's going to be successful. She already made this league more popular, even though they don't want to acknowledge that she made the league more popular this year. It was going to grow a little bit this year because it had gone up like 3 years in a row since the pandemic, but it wasn't going to grow it to the extent that it did. Some of it was overflow from women's college basketball becoming more popular, but yeah, I mean, two leagues will not survive. Women's basketball is not exciting enough. It's not popular enough. Yeah, Saudi Arabia could easily start a new league. He said that because they started the golf league, right? So, and they're into that too. They've started. I think that's not the only league they've started. I believe in capitalism. Well, I do. Of course I do. Why? I still remember when they started two women's basketball leagues, and I said, "What are you guys doing? Insane? There's not enough demand for one league. Why are you starting two?" Yeah. A lot of European players. Yeah, if they pay them enough, because, you know, oh, yeah, I'm not a fan of Saudi Arabia, obviously. I'm just saying that they got their money into sports right now for whatever reason. Yes, that's exactly why Jason Whitlock recommended Saudi Arabia, because they have limitless pockets with all that oil and stuff. All they got to do is just raise gas prices. They need more money.
Season continues tonight on the American League side. Game 1 between the Guardians and the Yankees, 7:30 Eastern, followed by Game 2 in the Bronx tomorrow night. We'll be back for Game 3.
You're just one of us. What is one of us?
Wednesday at 7 Eastern. The Yankees are going to have to play a shorter game against the Guardians, so maybe the Guardians treat their bullpen after 5, if they got a lead.
Who's Bryson?
Same theory. Get out to the lead early. Side for Smith. Yankees fans got 42. No one runs.
Bryson? Who's Bryson? An American?
Traditionally, it's best when you have one guy that they have settled in.
Oh, okay. I know. All right. I know who he is. When you saw the last name, I knew his. I forgot. Okay. I got it. Yeah. I know him by last name better because he's got an unusual last name. Yeah, I don't follow golf that closely, but I watch Pardon the Interruption every day to get my news because I don't watch SportsCenter because I hate SportsCenter because it's all PC and everything. So they follow. They always talk about golf there on that show. I think actually there's a lot of cities that aren't being used, and it would be a problem in like some of the cities though. Like Philadelphia doesn't have a team. You don't need a huge city. Some of these cities don't have it. So they could also do it during baseball season. I mean, during the basketball season. Which ESPN talking head been fierce to Caitlin? None of them. None of them. Not one of them. Not one woman out of the 5 supported Caitlin Clark to be in the Olympic team. That's all you need to know. They all made up excuses. None of them. They made up all. They lied. They were all dishonest. None of them had Caitlin Clark being Rookie of the Year until the end of the year. Yeah, McAfee doesn't count. He's not a black woman. I mean, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp argue for her to be on the Olympic team, but they did a poor job of arguing. They should have argued part of the reason she should be on the team was her talent, not just because of the marketing aspect. So they did a poor job. Neither one of those guys are geniuses, Stephen A. Smith or and then neither one of them knew Caitlin Clark's abilities or the WNBA that well. So they didn't do a very good job arguing. I agree. Yeah, I haven't liked ESPN in a long time. I still like Pardon the Interruption. I don't know. Because that way I get my news, and I still get some discussion. Pat. Yeah, Pat. Of course. And he supposedly was told not to talk about her. How could he not get any kind of say? They're paying him like $18 million, and you can't even talk about Caitlin Clark? He was just showing you them in that skit that he did. It was brilliant about the attendance, how Caitlin Clark is a huge draw, and it's not her and Angel Reese together, or even at the time Cameron Brink. It was actually a funny skit. I remember the skit. Dodgers on base. Bottom of the 8th. They're still down by 3. So, yeah, I guess some arenas would be a problem if they played in the same time. But what's going to happen is one league's going to go under. There's not enough interest in women's basketball to have 2 leagues. That's why I don't understand why they think the Unrivaled League is going to be successful, especially without Caitlin Clark. Well, they think Angel Reese is transcendent. That's what they argue because she led the league in rebounding and had all these double-doubles. I agree, Vadim. There's barely enough with Caitlin Clark. That league was most popular the first 5 years of its existence, and that was 20 years ago. So if you can't build up a league over 28 years, there's something wrong. That's right, yeah. Aaliyah Boston, I think she was unanimous MVP. MVP Rookie of the Year because there was nobody else that was really that great. I have to get some water. I watch Robin 2. So does Boss, but he questions his mucho. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Which WNBA YouTuber outside this channel do you think is best? What if you include this channel? All right. So are you asking me that, or are you asking the other people in the 8 people in the thread? The Chicks one is a guy, right? Of course it's a guy. You've heard his broadcast before.
Known for following your dreams. Known for keeping
This one's okay when Rob's around.
known for discovering new places. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can.
You want my opinion?
Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for
The ones I like the most,
including certain early stage and advanced cancers. One of those cancers is early stage non-small cell lung cancer. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies before surgery when you have early stage cancer, which can be removed by surgery, and then continue.
I'll tell you the 3 I like the most.
To help prevent your lung cancer from coming back.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath.
With Rob, your show's about 70-30 on Rob's favor. Hey, you guys just here to insult me? I'm not that sensitive. I don't know if it'll work.
There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had or plan to have an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant.
Mick just likes to hear himself talk. That's the impression I get. He likes the sound of his own voice. And so does Ben Daniels' podcast, even though I like him and I think he's smart. I think Adrian Ross is good. Chicks Dig Scar podcast is very good. And I think Fly Hippie's good too. I like his common sense, practical approach.
In baseball the last few years, comes back to missing all last year with a knee injury.
Oh yeah, there's a guy that breaks down. I've only watched him once. That he said why this team and how this team won. Me neither. But Fly Hippie's good. AK Nation could be good. Yeah, Fly Hippie's the kind of guy you want to have a beer with. You know what I mean? And he knows basketball, and he's level-headed. He's common sense. He's objective. I like that type of guy. I think Adrian Ross is the same way. Chick Sticks Car Podcast. I agree with him on a lot of things, but he lost me when he told me that Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest player of all time instead of Michael Jordan. And one or two other basketball opinions I thought he was way off base on, but I think he's right about Caitlin Clark. Ben is the best, no offense. Ben swears a lot and gets really repetitive for my taste. That's all I'm saying. I think he has good insight. I have nothing against his insight. But he says in 20 minutes what he could say in 5. Now, Michael Jordan's the best player of all time. Sorry. Chamberlain didn't make anyone around him better. Got 2 championships. You like the men who... Well, because we get commercials on the channels, and they ask you to fill out the thing each time you submit a video about whether they're swearing on it, and I always put no. If you want me to swear, I will, but I'm pretty good swearing. I don't see any reason to, though. I swear plenty in my regular life. Right. Most of these channels are all Caitlin Clark fans, but they're also like reasonable. Like they'll criticize Caitlin Clark at least sometimes, and like Black and White Sports 2. He never says anything negative about Caitlin Clark. Like it's like a Caitlin Clark fanfare. He's not real objective about her. And let's see who else I've listened to. No, that was what happened was there was a delay and we were talking over each other and we didn't realize it. There really wasn't a problem. Rob's so easy going. It's yeah. Jordan was so ultra competitive. That's what pushed him over the edge. And he was clutch too. Yeah, I doubt the 2,000 was true, but anyways, it was probably like 20,000 was true. It was probably like 2,000. You multiplied it by 10 to sell a book. There's another person is like, oh yeah, AK Nation. He takes too long to get to his point. Again, it's a 25-minute video he could do in 5 minutes. I try not to have videos where I repeat myself, too many times, at least in terms of the topic.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot and getting your flu shot.
I don't know. Yeah, but AK Nation... Right, that's what I just said, Vadim. He also is wrong about Caitlin Clark. Like, he called her the best player in the league, like 8 games into her career. And she simply wasn't. And I don't even think she is now. But he made a point that expanded on what I said when, if you guys remember, if you were listening, when the Olympic team came around and they were arguing whether or not she was a top 12 player in the league. And I said this in the video and other people backed me up. I said, I have no idea how to rank Caitlin Clark in terms of how good a player she is in the league, because she's the only one being double teamed and triple teamed in the league. And so how do I compare her numbers or what I see her do on the court with everybody else who's not getting double teamed and triple teamed? Like, like Dan Patrick Respect said, well, I don't think she's one of the top 12 players in the league and she needs to earn it. I go, well, how would you know? No one else is being double teamed and triple teamed in the league. And AK Nation went one step further than I did when he said, I don't know how good Asia Wilson is. Let me see her get double teamed and triple teamed for a few games. And I said, oh, that's even the same point I was making, So that's what but AK Nation is a supporter of Caitlin Clark, and he doesn't like, I like the black broadcasters who really criticize the black people in the media who are biased against Caitlin Clark, because they're not seeing color, and I like that. I do everything I can not to see color. I mean, I see color, but I do everything I can not to let the color I see influence what I think of a person or how I rate a person. And I learned that from my dad. And my dad was very objective, and he was good at that kind of stuff. And I think you need to do that in broadcasting. And I don't think ESPN does that. And that's what I hate about ESPN. It isn't so much that they're overly woke as the fact that they're not objective. But the two go hand in hand right now because they don't hire any white males anymore. They laid them all off. You're half black, half brown. I don't like everyone. If I don't handle. I honestly, really, I wish there was no such thing as race. In fact, it's totally unnecessary for the society to look at people's because of their race. Skin color shouldn't make any difference any more than hair color or eye color. If we all didn't notice skin color any more than hair color or eye color, the whole world would be a lot better, be a lot less wars. And that's what I like to do, but the women connected with the WNBA is not letting me do that as a Caitlin Clark fan. I hate everyone. All right, I believe it. What about lack of hair? You shouldn't notice that either. I have blonde hair. You just can't see it. My arm, you can still see my blonde the blonde hair on my arms. I am 5/8 German, 1/8 Dutch, and 1/4 Irish. So I'm pretty white. But I think of myself as a human being stuck in America. Who did our genealogy? Well, we didn't have to do our genealogy for my father's side because my brother went over to Germany and did some research. My mother, we didn't know where her father was, so we had to do genealogy on her because we knew we didn't have the father's genealogy. So we did some kind of genealogy test, and that's how we found out we were Irish. But so anyway, that's how he figured out a quarter of it. Who are the 5 hottest women in the W? Oh, God. Basil is always arguing. Are you kidding me? He likes to just disagree. All right, let's go with that list right now. The 5 hottest women in the W. Base hit. Score. 7-3 Mets. You want my top 5? I usually try not to talk about the women, especially the ones who are only like 22 years old. I don't mind talking about the 30-year-olds. But as long as nobody judges me. All right. Alana Smith is cute. I know, but some people like. All right. I like Kelsey Plum. I think Nafisa Collier is cute. I think she has a really nice look to her. I'd like to see Rakia Jackson without the long eyelashes and with less makeup, because I don't think I'm seeing like Rakia Jackson what she really looks like, to tell you the truth. I think she wears too much makeup and too long eyelashes. I'd like to see what she really looks. Alicia Gray's cute. All right, well, Dejanay Carrington has a nice body. I'm not sure about her face. Again, she wears too much makeup. Her eyelashes are too long. Is this exercise including person? No, it's not including personality. You can't combine the two. Angel Reese has a great body. I don't think her face is anything special. She has an average face. Cameron Brink's not my type, to be honest. I don't like her nose. I don't think she's that pretty. I know some people do. I think her mother's prettier than she is. Bridget Carlton. Let me look her up. I got to look up. Wait a minute. You guys are going to. Let me look up Bridget Carlton. What team does she play for? I remember that name. What team is Bridget Carlton on? The Lynx? All right, let me look her up. And what about Alana Smith? Who does she play for? The Lynx? They both play for the Lynx? All right, you just like Lynx players. All right, let me look it up. Sophie Cunningham's pretty, but she's got no shape to her body. Anyway, you want to know the truth? She's just kind of tall and skinny. Let me just see. Standings. All right. Let me look up the Lynx, 2 Lynx women. All right, Alana Smith's cute. I don't know. I can't see her body. I'm just looking at her face. You want to know the truth? You guys get me started on this stuff. Bridget Carlton's cute. I can't see her body. I just see her face. She's 6'1". And Alana Smith's 6'4". Wow. They're both cute.
meteorologist about Sky Rizzi.
There's one more Lynx player, bench warmer, that's super hot. Well, I need a name.
When you can't rely on technology.
I'll be honest, I don't watch Caitlin Clark for her looks. Sorry. That's a good thing, I think.
Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, but Sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvable faster than those full pills. See if Sparks are right for you at ro.co/sparks.
Substance use disorder and.
Yeah, she doesn't. That's done on my type.
And so, as a black woman.
I'm not saying she's unattractive. I'm just saying she's not hot enough for me to watch her because of her looks. That's what I'm saying. She's like, marginally attractive, I guess, is the best for me. I would describe Caitlin. Or personality is attractive. That's your personality is like a 9.5. There is one picture of her all glamoured up with her, like, I don't know, a formal affair with her and her boyfriend that she looks really good in. Caitlin Clark. Nikki Mule's cute. She dresses well. She always has these nice outfits. Jonquel Jones? Are you kidding me? She looks like Jonquel Jones is too masculine looking. Nikki looks better off court. That's because she dresses well. She wears good outfits. Elena Deladonna. Well, she's not even in the league right now, but she's kind of cute. She doesn't like men. I think she's married to a woman. Of course, half these women don't like men, probably. There is a picture of Plum in a bathing suit in her Instagram account, lying down, that she looks great in for some reason. Chrissy Krandes, I don't even know who she is. What does she play for?
Just don't create any drama by walking anybody.
Who is Kersey Kondrazik? KYSRE.
You see him changing his approach at all, or do you switch him that much tougher? No, honestly, everything about Otani seems the same. He's just getting beat to the point of where his attack mode and his power.
All right, Kersey Kondrazik is cute.
The lefty did a nice job with neutralizing.
Yeah, Dana Taurasi is my favorite. Oh, I think Sue Bird is very pretty. I think she's still very pretty today. I think Sue Bird has a great look for some reason. There's something about her look that. I think Sue Bird is still pretty to this day. I don't know. She's Taurasi or Stewart, if you had to choose one. I'm passing on that. Oh my God. I find them both unattractive physically and both unattractive personality wise. I'm passing on that. Christy Sides. I'll pass on Christy Sides. Taurasi and Stewart are just so unattractive overall.
I wouldn't be surprised if the sales of Tums went skyrocketing in New York with all of the kind of games they played. Just a couple.
Scott came in with Akia Jackson. We talked about her earlier. I'd like to see her Akia Jackson with no eyelashes and less makeup. She just, I can't really tell what she. Gabby Williams. Yeah, what? Who is she? Is she playing for? Who does she sign with again? Gabby Williams. Oh yeah, Candace Wiggins is an attractive woman. I looked her up when she did that thing. The coach is not more than your. No, I don't find women that old attractive. Gabby Williams. I'd rather look at the younger women, but then people give you a hard time when you get like over 40. They give you a hard time about commenting on women that are 22 or 18 or whatever. That's why I try to be careful before their smoker's voice. Suns coach is kind of hot. Yeah. Bobby Hughes here. Gabby Williams, was she in Seattle? Skylar Diggins Skylar Diggins always been nice looking. I think so. I think she still looks good. Yeah, I know who Gabby Marshall's. Gabby Marshall's cute. She does have great eyes. She's biracial, by the way. I think she's half white, half black. If I'm not mistaken. Gabby Marshall's not in the WNBA, though, unfortunately. You're still thinking about that Italian Olympic volleyball player? What about the two Canadian Olympic volleyball players? They were both good looking. I don't know. ACL. You can come back from ACLs now. They just take about a year to get before you're fully back. Was Gabby Williams? Let me try to remember what she looks like. She's in Seattle. Gabby Williams has a cute smile. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know what Nike's doing with Caitlin Clark's shoe. I think they're just. I don't know what takes so long to design a freaking sneaker. Really? Seriously? I don't remember Michael Jordan's first shoe taking a year to come out. CC has great golfing form. That's because CC takes sports seriously, and so she learns proper form. She doesn't just go out and just try to get by in her athletic ability. She's so competitive. She learns proper technique and form.
And 7-3 to send the series back to Citi Field tied up. Sometimes teams do things a different way to get their wins, but the Mets believe in their team, and the Dodgers show you what they can do when they were up against all the nations. It's going to be a great series as we head to New York. Off day tomorrow, game 3 will be Wednesday night from Citi Field. Severino, Jose Quintana, one back for the Mets. Walker Buehler, one go for the Devils in game 3. Carlos Mendoza's team, as it's done all year, finds a way to respond quickly. Through a back foot slider after throwing all those 99-mile-an-hour fastballs. Created a little excitement tonight, as he often does. He has every time that he's pitched his postseason. Things you can count on these days. Evan Diaz making it interesting. The Francisco Lindor is setting the tone. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Next show, Francisco, your home run leading off the game, set the tone. It was an epic at bat. 8 pitches, you fouled the ball off your leg. What were you thinking going into it and as it proceeded?
All right, let's see. Odds of Sides coaching the team next year. Rob and I talked about that. I have her 70-30 not coaching, and Rob has her 70-30 coaching. I should do a poll, right? Okay. All right, I want a percentage on this one. I'll do a question. Over under 50%. Okay. Will Sides, yeah, so it's 50%. So if it's over 50, that's a no.
Francisco Lindor is walked intentionally in front of you. 2 outs, bases loaded. Are you feeling swaggy or insulted?
To be honest with you, I take it personal. I was like, okay, I mean, you want me up to the play, I'm going to try to drive in the run. Honestly, I was trying to simplify the game. I wasn't trying to do too much, but I did take it personal that they walked Lindor for the bases loaded for me.
We'll take you through that at bat because you saw 4 consecutive sliders long at bat. They tried to get a fastball by you.
All right. I have a second poll.
Like I said, I was just trying to simplify the game. I was trying to put the ball in the gaps. Or just,
All right. Here's my next question. It's Q&A. What percent chance will Caitlin Clark be MVP?
It's Stars ready to have the post-game show for you. Kevin Burkhardt and the boys to recap game 2 as the New York Mets have tied this festive 7 National League Championship Series up at a game apiece. The studio takes over on the other side of this break.
It's a huge day of football on Fox, and it all kicks off with Big Noon Saturday at Baby Mahomes. Dylan Raiola in the ground take on Indiana. One more. Coach Prime and Heisman Hope and Travis Hunter.
I will say that if if Caitlin Clark's chance of being MVP next year, I would change it depending on whether or not Coach Sides is the coach. So if you want to give two different answers to my question, you can. Because I think of her chance of being MVP without Coach Sides is over 50%. If Coach Sides is not the coach of the Fever, I will say her chance of being MVP is over 50%. With her as the coach, I don't know. I just don't see Coach Sides learning very quickly. I don't think she's very bright. I don't think she has much common sense. I don't think she has judgment. I think she's insecure. I don't think she knows basketball. I don't even think she's a good person. Yeah, Coach Sides, Coach Sides was clueless. She had no idea what she had in Caitlin Clark, and I don't think she still does. It's amazing because all you got to do is watch her play in Iowa and say, okay, that offense was the number one offense in the college basketball last year. Let's see if we can duplicate that. That's what I would say. Forget it's the WNBA or not. Let's just see if we can duplicate it. Which Fever benefits the most from being Caitlin Clark's teammate? You can do it. You can do it. They did it in certain games. Which Fever benefits the most from Caitlin Clark's being teammate? That's a tough question. But I don't know if you can really determine that, because I think that she gives a lot of good shots for Kelsey Mitchell. She gets a lot of good shots for Leah Boston and for Lexi Hall. I understand the WNBA is different than women's college basketball. That doesn't mean you can't duplicate it to enough to get more of what they were doing there and do it in the WNBA. Because when they ran, they had a lot of success. Now they need depth for that, and of course, you got Chrissy Sides doesn't know how to handle depth. She doesn't know how to do substitution. She doesn't know how to develop players. She doesn't even know how to keep the right players on the roster. But if they had 9-10 people that they could have flowed in and out, they could run more. Well, yeah, Caitlin Clark knows how to play it. You don't need to coach it. Caitlin Clark could just say, "This is what we did at Iowa." She could have asked Lisa Bluter to come in for a day or a week and say, "This is what we did in Iowa." I mean, they did figure it out to a certain extent. You saw at some point, as soon as they got the rebound, they looked for Caitlin Clark. Or as soon as the ball was inbounded, they looked for Caitlin Clark. They didn't do that in the beginning of the year. And they started running more. So they figured out something. I think Coach Size is that unimportant. I think the coaches are very important normally. It's not that complicated. It's really not that complicated. Caitlin Clark could coach that team. It really, she knows what worked. Offense worked at Iowa. I don't think that it's still basketball. So what isn't the So
How much did that help you coming into this game in terms of preparation, where it's really nothing different? Yeah, it's we didn't start off the first season too great, but we were scratching the clock.
So when is the Yankees game on?
Like you said, we've had that winner go home mindset, and
Oh, it's the same channel, right? I thought it was starting at 7:38. Guess not. I go to Monday Night Countdown.
Some of the best approach against Shohei Ohtani that we've seen all year. I mean, really impressive.
If Fever run and gun, most of the other teams wouldn't keep up with 4 quarters. Yes, I don't think Clark could play 40 minutes and do that, though. So, again, that was Sides' fault for not developing a backup point guard or backup shooting guard. Right. Well, they could have had it if they had kept Taylor and she had played other players, 6 to 12 minutes and played the right players. And it would have helped if Temi wasn't injured half the season too. But if she had played the right players, they don't have to run and gun for 4 quarters. Maybe they could run and gun for 3 quarters. But right. So they're not going to be able to run and gun when Clark's not in there for those 6 minutes that I would keep her off the court. But they don't have to do it for 4 quarters. But they need to do it for 3 quarters. No, all they had to do is get rid of Saxton. She never played. Why Dantas? Where have you been, Baselif? Why are we keeping Saxton? She's not playing. Yeah, wait. You can do some pick and rolls with Boston when you're not running. I don't know. Wallace wasn't so bad that she couldn't play 6 minutes. The problem is that she was starting Wallace. I don't know. It's hard to say because I didn't see Saxton play enough to know how good she is, or whether Saxton could play in the run and gun offense. But you needed Taylor more than her. What's a very good bench player? She didn't play, Bobby. Right. Well, no, they didn't keep Dantas. They kept Saxon. They could have waived Saxon. No, Saxon didn't play at all. She got garbage time all year. That's all she got. You're wrong, Biz. That's completely wrong. Saxon got garbage time, just like Celeste Taylor. All he had to do was waive Saxon. Now, Wallace was more valuable than Saxon. I don't know why you guys want to keep Saxon. She hasn't proven she could do anything. Wallace isn't a bad player. She's just not a starter. That's not a good reason to be on a team because she's supportive of her teammates. She can play defense. She proved that in college. And the times they put her in there, she played well for the other WNBA teams, and she actually got assists and everything. It is true. We don't know how great Taylor is ever going to be with the Fever because Sides was so stupid, she never gave her a chance.
Jason, I'm going to ask you to answer.
They weren't going to waive Wallace, so that wasn't ever going to happen.
It was started out fun. I saw this woman on the top of this RV, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll join you." And then it's like a. But the camera. So it's the camera. The camera's expensive somehow. So it goes through the.
Like I said, it isn't like Wallace was awful. She just wasn't anything close to a starter, and neither was Katie Lou Samuelson. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, loyalty is no good. Sorry. You need to win games. Look at Saxon, may be a decent player, but someone had to go. That's why I would. That's who I would choose. Saxon wasn't that great in college. She never made All-American. She didn't make any kind of all. I don't even think she made an all-conference team. All right. Okay.
Monday Night Countdown is presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN, and in part by Verizon, the NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
Milo's Rewards Week is here.
Victoria Saxon.
You feel like a big deal. Members save on hundreds of deals in-store and online. It's kind of a big deal. Join for free and save through October 16th.
Hey, meet the new Target Circle, the easiest way to get more Target. That means automatic deals when you join for free. That's the new Target Circle.
More cookies. Yeah.
You know what's better than one Papa John's pizza? Two Papa John's pizza. For $6.99 each.
Oh yeah, Papa John's bundle 2 or more Papa Parents menu items for $6.99 each. Get your favorites for $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better
All right.
taste, better get you some Papa John's.
Growing your business is easy once you know the moves. With GoDaddy Website Plus Marketing, you can
So,
create your website and
in college, Victoria Saxon never made an all-conference team, let alone an all-American team. She never made an all-defensive team, and she was drafted in the 3rd round. So there must be a reason she was drafted in the 3rd round. That's not good, 3rd round. Okay, so there's no indication to me, based on her college career, that she's going to be a great pro. So she wasn't given a chance in the pros, obviously, by Fever, but.
There's some things that work better together, like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. Voya helps you choose
In college,
without over or under investment. So you can
the most she ever averaged was 8.9 points a game and 5.8 rebounds. If that's all you can average in college, you really think that you're going to be a superstar in the WNBA? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She played for South Carolina, which they played team ball. So that's all I'm saying. There's no indication to me.
I love using HomeAbook, and I think you will too.
Well, I agree on Dantas is too slow. However, that doesn't mean you have to play her a lot of minutes. You can put her in there with Wheeler when they're not running. That's what I would do. Put Dollar in with Wheeler when they're not running. If you want to put Mitchell with Wheeler, also so you have some scoring, that would work.
Switch to Verizon and get the new iPhone 16 Pro and get a new iPad and Apple One all on us.
That's over $1,600 in value. Only on Verizon.
Yeah, 2022. On the championship team, Victoria Saxon averaged 21 minutes a game. That's what it says here. So it wasn't like she was, I don't know, you want to call that a starter, 21 minutes a game.
So here, slot position between where the line is and the outside receiver, empty backfield. So quarterback will bring you in motion, come down, take it just like a normal handoff, no type of read key.
Anyways, you got to waive somebody. And there's nothing against her. You got to choose that. I think Wallace is valuable enough to play 6 minutes off the bench, like either as a small forward or a shooting guard. But yeah, Melissa Smith is gone.
Children's favorite segment of the week. They want to see who got the Hemi right. Swag got the Hemi right, and that's understandable.
I didn't try to redefine it. I said you can call her whatever you want. I said she played 21 minutes.
He deserves it. It's overdue. The man has just been running wilder than football. They've outwested Alabama 800 yards through 6 games.
I'm not trying to redefine. I don't think 21 minutes sounds like starter minutes, though. Throwing is good, Bobby says.
For Yankees fans, Jets fans, big night with New York sports, as the Mets have already got their victory.
Anyways, if you want to donate to the channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. I know I wouldn't have waived Celeste Taylor, that's for sure. I would have given her a chance and tried to develop her. That, to me, seems so obvious. And so who are you going to waive, base instead of Victoria Saxon? Who are you going to waive? When you brought in Dantas, who are you going to waive? You're going to waive. You're going to.
Listen, I can see this going either way, but I think if you know you're going to bounce back out of it, I think Josh Allen's going to have a good night. I'm going to go, what did I say, 2016? I think I said, Bill.
I think it was important for them to run and gun, and to do that, you need to develop players so that you can play 9 or 10 players, so you can run and gun, so you can have the energy for that. I don't know if you're going to waive. Wallace would be a tough one to waive. She's getting paid a lot of money, I think. You wouldn't have brought in Dantas. I don't know. Dantas hit some key buckets in some key games. Yeah, I would have brought. I didn't have a problem them bringing Dantas in, but no one was going to pick up Saxon. If you needed to bring her back, you could. Kind of like putting her on the practice squad. People picked up Taylor for a reason. Yeah, Berger. I mean, Berger got some playing time the year before. She was averaging like 14 minutes a game the year before. I looked it up. Berger's not a bad player. She could be a backup point guard next year because I think they're going to get rid of Wheeler. But I'm not repeating what Potato Mix said.
As you look at New York City, we are about 12 miles to the west across the Hudson. Pitt Central football here in New Jersey.
They have terrible defense. And there were times where the best guard or even just any guard in the other team had their best game of the year against the Fever because they didn't have any defensive guards. Even Mitchell, who should be a good defensive guard, wasn't good at it. And at least if someone gets hot, you could put in Taylor off the bench and slow the person down. That's the advantage of Celeste Taylor. And come in and play, get a spark plug off the bench by playing good defense. That's why I see the value of Celeste Taylor. And she played well when she played for the other teams. And she even had like assists and scored a little. So, anyways, yeah, we don't know how good she's going to be because no one gave her a chance completely yet. The Mets came through for you? It's 1-1, and the Yankee game probably started. Yeah, that's what I like about Celeste Taylor is she's fast and athletic. And she fits in with the system. That's another reason to have kept her. It was silly. It was just silly for waving her. Sorry.
My name is Joe Buck. That's Troy Aikman. And Troy, the Jets have a lot going on. I know it's only week 6, but man, this feels like there's a lot on the line tonight. They've got a new head coach in Jeff Ulbrich. They've got a new play installer and caller in Todd Downing. What does that mean for Aaron Rodgers and the offense, which so far through 5 games has lagged way behind the defense for New York? Yes, they have. They have for the last several.
So, anyways, I'm got
on the offensive side with Todd Downing, as you mentioned, taking over as the play caller because it's been the ineptness of the offense is why Robert.
3-game parlay: Mets, Yankees, and Bills.
If you look at this offense, how much is it going to look different from what we've seen up to this point? I'm not really
She did. She played well for Phoenix.
As you said, the quarterback has not played well. The offensive line, the rebound offensive line, has not really done their job. The biggest problem has been they've not been able to get.
You can tell that Christy Sides is not a good judge of talent. That's why Wallace was starting. That's why Kaylu Samuelson was starting. How could she not figure out that Lexi Hall was better than Wallace? It wasn't that hard to see. So the fact that Taylor wasn't playing doesn't mean anything. That's what I mean. She's just incompetent as a coach. For all I know, Berger could be a very good player if she's given a chance. But I don't know. Like I said, she played the year before, but like 14 minutes a game. But anyway, doesn't matter. But maybe the new ownership tries to get Celeste Taylor back. I know she signed with Australia, but for next year, I don't think she's signed with anybody.
I know he's trying to rein it in a little bit, but he's been trying to do that throughout his whole career. Now he's facing a Jets defense that is awfully good. They don't give up big plays. It's hard to complete passes. This is going to be a challenge, certainly, for Josh Allen. In addition to that, they don't have James.
Yeah.
So a big part of what
I don't think Dantas necessarily fits in well with Caitlin Clark, but she did add something to the team since they don't know how he's going to run. Are they allowed to get a man to coach? Of course. Why wouldn't they?
Interim head coach of the Jets, former third-round pick of the San Francisco 49ers.
She did? Berger? Oh.
Here we go. Okay, get on the next one.
That's just getting to him.
Maybe we should change it up.
Now I got it.
Cam, get loose.
There we go. Daddy's got this.
Hey, you got us this far. Cam's gonna finish the drive.
You got it.
Beautiful.
If only they were backups in real life.
Taylor's impact's not going to show up in stats when she's a defensive specialist, but I told you I would not have played Caitlin Clark 38, 40 minutes a game. I think that's why one of the reasons her three-point shooting wasn't as good as it would have been. Her legs would have been fresher. And she could run more when she was in and not be tired all the time, play better defense.
Chunky is beefy. 21 grams of protein in this bad boy. You can barely contain all this power from meat.
Anyway, I got to end this. We go to 8, but today it's 8:06. I'm going to watch the Bills game at 8:15, so I got a couple things to do. So I try to do a live game next week. We'll see what happens. I try to do a live football game next week if you guys want. And we'll be here next Monday. So I'm going to end this and everybody say good night. Thanks for joining the show. If anybody wants to donate to the channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. Pacers are building around Tyrese Hamilton, hence brought in players like Pascal. Fever needed the same. Yeah, well, now I think they have a president who was smart enough to push Dunn out of the position that she had. So hopefully that's a good sign. Until we don't know. Chat just heating up. I'll go to 8:10. All right, because I got the game starts at 8:15. I got a couple of things to do. Get ready. But we're arguing about Celeste Taylor and Victoria Saxon and Dantas. Anyway. It was heating up before, and we were talking about the 5 hottest women in the league. But anyways. All right. Oh, there comes the Jets. All right. Have a good night, everybody.